What is up, everybody? Welcome back to racenews.com and welcome back to another one of our previews. Let's go to Saratoga. Race 10 on the card. It is the Grade 1 Alabama. $600,000 the purse for the 3-year-old fillies. Field of 6 in this one. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen for you. Hell of a race, no doubt about it. It's only 6 horses, but boy, is it a tricky one for sure. No question about it. All right, let's get going here with the number 1, Margie's Intentions. A horse that I just feel like might be a little overmatched, even though she did finish second last time out in the Grade 3 Delaware Oaks and 2 races back, did win the Black-Eyed Susan. I just feel like this Louisiana bred kind of overachieving. Those races weren't all that tough. I think this is just a much, much tougher spot. So I don't love her in this spot today. However, Irad Ortiz does jump aboard. I think that is obviously a good sign. The horse is very consistent. 7 starts, 3 firsts, 3 seconds. The only time this horse did not finish first or second was on debut, and I don't really count that, going 6 furlongs at Fairgrounds. I think she's a little overclassed, or a little overmatched, and a little outclassed, if I could speak correctly there. So I'm not going with her here. We'll see what happens. She kind of did shock me in the Black-Eyed. Not shock me, but she kind of surprised me how well she ran in the Black-Eyed Susan. I just think she's kind of a cut below the next couple, 2 or 3 we're going to talk about. The number 2 is Good Cheer. Model of consistency here. 7 starts, 7 wins until last time out, where she was a nowhere to be found 5th, beaten 9 1/4 in the Acorn. We'll talk about that one in a second. Let's talk about what she's done right. Maiden special weight win at Horseshoe Indianapolis by 8 1/4. Allowance win at Churchill Downs by 17 lengths. A stakes win at Churchill Downs by 4 3/4. The Goldenrod at Churchill Downs won by 2.5. The Rachel Alexandra at Fairgrounds won by 6 1/4. The Fairgrounds Oaks won by 3 1/4. And then the Kentucky Oaks won by 2 1/4. That's in a very, very, very impressive wow-like resume. The Acorn did not go her way, like I said. That was an extremely sloppy, sealed track. Nobody made up a lot of ground that day. This horse looked like she hated life running over that surface, went backwards. So I give her a pass for that one. I wish we would have kind of seen her, in the local prep here, the Coaching Club American Oaks. I wish we would have seen her there. But I just kind of have a feeling if she shows up with her best effort, she will rebound if the track is dry. I just think she caught a track that was pretty impossible for her to get the job done over. So been working up at Saratoga extremely well. I think she's ready for a rebound. She is the class of the field, but is she in good enough form? That is the big question. The number 3 is Kinsey Queen. Look, if I think Margie's Intention is a little bit, outclassed in this one, you got to think Kinsey Queen is as well. Why do I say that? Well, she finished 3rd behind Margie's Intention and in the Black-Eyed Susan, and she finished 3rd behind Fondly and Margie's Intention in the Delaware Oaks. Kind of not for me in this spot here. 13 starts, just 2 victories, 1 maiden, 1 allowance race. I can't do it with Kinsey Queen in this spot. She's going to be a pass for me. This is a very interesting one here. The number 4 Nitrogen next on the list here. A horse that obviously has made her name on the turf running lights out races. This horse, after finishing 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile filly turf last year, won a stakes at Gulfstream Park, won the Florida Oaks at Tampa Bay, won the Appalachian at Keeneland, won the Edgewood at Churchill Downs. She was in the Wonder again at Saratoga on June 7th. That would have been Belmont Day. Race gets rained off. Only 3, or I think it was maybe 3 or 4. Yeah, it ended up being 3 horses. If I look at my notes, only 3 horses stayed on. This is one of the races they didn't cancel. They just moved it to the dirt, and it actually stayed on the dirt. It stayed on. 3 horses. We were all like, that is interesting. Maybe they think Nitrogen can run on the dirt. Maybe it's a 3-horse field. Let's just go get it. Won by 17 lengths, and for my money, looked about as impressive as a horse could look that day. Came back to the turf in the Belmont Oaks next. 2nd, beaten a nose. Got beat by Fione. The win streak ended for Nitrogen. Now we're back to the dirt. This was a plan all along. Go back to the dirt for the Alabama. Horses by Medaglia d'Oro out of an Uncle Mo mare, so I do think we'll be able to get the distance, but it is interesting coming off of a loss. Now, the Wonder again was over an extremely sloppy racetrack. Sometimes turf horses, that translates a little bit better than a fast dirt track. I really like Nitrogen. I really think there's some questionable things about her, and I'm afraid her price is going to be a little short for a horse that has a lot of question marks. So I am a little worried about Nitrogen both ways, I would say, though, because the other kind of way to look at this is, boy, her best, it might be really good and she may win it. So she's a mystery, no doubt about it. The number 5 is Queen Azteca. And this is a horse that 4 races back was able to get the job done in the over at Meydan at Dubai in an ice stakes race there. Looking very, very good. Ran well enough to try the UAE Derby next. The UAE Oaks was the race she won. As I grazed by that. Tried the UAE Derby next. Got 5th, beat 8.5. It was not a very strong race. Won an allowance last time out, and then lost an allowance. Won an allowance 2 races back, lost an allowance last time out. First race here in the United States. Kind of a wild card, not for me. This horse is really not for me. Say kind of a wild card. We'll see kind of what happens there. And then finally, the number 6 is Lara, a horse that was able to win the Acorn over that sloppy track by 3 lengths. Now, she is a speed horse, speed all the way. She was able to take him gate to wire because they really were not passing, and she is a very quality speed horse. Kentucky Oaks, she was 9th, beaten 13 lengths. Not good there. The Ashland, she won. She won and looked impressive by a length and a quarter. Devona Dale at Gulfstream, she lost, so she's kind of up and down. I do think when you look at the pace of this race, there's not a whole lot of it. I do think she could get to the front in this spot. Did Brad Cox enter Margie's intention with the idea of maybe to try to set up for good cheer a little bit? I think there's a chance of that. But I do think Lara could be gone. She's loose on the lead, no doubt about it. I think she could be gone on the front end. Could Nitrogen maybe press? She was sort of kind of fast early, in the Wonder again. She was second behind just a length and kind of stalked the pace. Could she get up there and kind of interject some pace? If there isn't much pace, Lara could be gone in this spot. But we'll kind of just see how that goes. So let's look at the main 2 contenders for me, and that is going to be Good Cheer and Lara. We are going 1.25 miles further than any horse has gone yet out of these horses. Queen Azteca is kind of, she's went 1 mile and 3/16, just not, and then 1 mile and 3/8, and then 1.5 miles, and it's overseas. And I don't know how it's going to translate here. The rest of these horses haven't gone this far. Lara, by street sense, out of a Bernardini mare, should be just fine. Good Cheer by Medaglia d'Oro out of a street sense mare should be just fine. So couldn't decipher between the 2 there. I think Nitrogen, I think Margie's intention. I just kind of feel like they're going to be up there with Lara a little bit. I don't see this horse getting totally away from this field. Even though on paper, I can definitely see why you would think so. I'm going back to Good Cheer in this spot. Her 7 races were so good. She caught a track she just did not like last time out. I really think she gets back to her best race in this one. She's been working out extremely well. I'm pretty excited to see this matchup, though, because I think Lara's best, loose on the lead could be enough to get the job done. I just think Good Cheer's a little bit more classy, just a little bit better of a horse. I'm just hoping one of these other ones come out there and pressure a little bit. Even maybe if it's Good Cheer, getting a little bit closer. You look at the Fairgrounds Oaks, which was a short field. She only sat a length and a half off. That's kind of what I think we're going to have to do here. You look at the Rachel Alexander, set a couple of lengths off. The Kentucky Oaks, set 4.5, 5 lengths off the pace a little bit. I kind of think we need to get up there, get in position, and try to get up there where we're in a kind of more of a stalking position versus mid-pack. Field of 6 also, it's sometimes these paces get really weird. Sometimes they all kind of bunch up. So, again, I think there's going to be enough. I think Good Cheer gets the job done. So I'm going to go number 2, Good Cheer, to win this year's running of the Alabama. All right, guys, I love this video. Hit that like button if you like it. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alerting time we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you're playing Saratoga on Saturday.